Lately, I have been pinning my little heart away on Pinterest and I started to notice a pattern. Most of my pins were either DÔEN or DÔEN inspired tops. For those of you who don't know, DÔEN is a dreamy, vintage inspired brand at a very high price point. Most of their tops go from anywhere from $150 to $300 for a single top. So I decided to try and make my own. Technically, I wanted to just thrift exactly what I wanted so I wouldn't have to do any work. But when that didn't work, I decided I was going to do a thrift flip and make it a little bit easier on myself. I was able to find this universal threads top for $8.99 at a thrift store. When it comes to doing a thrift flip successfully, you really want to focus on the elements that you either don't know how to do or don't feel comfortable doing yet, and find those already in the item that you're thrifting. For me personally, my sewing machine does not like me and I cannot get buttonholes down regardless how much I try. So I really wanted to thrift an item that, one, already had buttonholes, and two, already had a Peter Pan-like collar. I haven't done a Peter Pan collar before. I'm sure I could figure it out, but it just didn't sound like something that I wanted to put effort into. So ideally, if I could find a piece with those two elements, I would be in good company. You also want to make sure that whatever you get, you can either find fabric easily to match it, or it has enough left over that you can use it back into your piece to create what you want. So you want to think ahead. Lucky for me, this top already has a Peter Pan collar with frills. That's just an added bonus for me. And it has buttonholes. So those are two things that I don't have to worry about, and the rest is up to me. Let me break down to you what exactly needs to be done to this top to make it the DÔEN top of my dreams. Step one is going to be adding a puff sleeve. Technically, the item already has a puff sleeve, but it's really long and I want to make it short so that it matches what's on my Pinterest board. So I'm going to shorten the sleeve and give it a nice puff at the top. Step two, I want to take it in on the sides. Most of the DÔEN inspired tops are a little bit loose fitting, so I don't want it super form fitting, but I want it to fit just a little bit better than it does right now because currently it is swallowing me. Step three is going to be cropping the top. I already have a short torso, so usually I go for cropped items anyways, but I wanted to shorten the length of this, which leads me to step four, which is going to be to add ruffles to the bottom. On some of the DÔEN tops, they have ruffles, and on others they don't, but I think for what I'm going for, I do want to have ruffles added to the bottom. I'm hoping to make the ruffle out of what's left after I crop the top, but we'll see. And the last step is step five, is to change out the button. It's something really quick, super simple, but it adds a lot of character to a top. One of my favorite and easy thrift flips that I like to do is to thrift something and just change out the buttons. It gives the top a completely new look with very minimal effort. So let's get started. I'm going to start by removing the sleeves using my seam ripper. There's a few different ways you can get a puff sleeve. You could potentially leave the sleeves and then you could just cut this off, do a bias tape inside, feed the elastic through, etc. I want to not do that. And also the sleeve itself is just really big. So what I'm thinking of doing is taking off this part and using it as my cuff. It already has the elastic in it. It's one less step I have to do, and just using from here up. So this will be the end of the sleeve, and then this will be the beginning of the sleeve. I've got everything on this side pinned so you guys can see an idea of what it's looking like. I don't have anything sewn, and I also took in the side seam here so you can kind of see how this fits just a little bit better than this side. The thing that gave me the most trouble was trying to figure out how to get the inside of this correct. Because I took it from the cuff, I didn't really have anything to go off of because it was just a straight cut. So what I did is I took a dress that I already owned. I have this puff sleeve dress. So I used this to draft what I needed on the end of the sleeve to attach it to the body. If you don't already have a puff sleeve dress, you can buy a puff sleeve pattern and just use that. But so far, so good, and I didn't have to buy anything else. I don't have a serger, so I'm going to go over everything with a zigzag stitch first, and then I might go over it with an overlock stitch at the end. It's not necessary, but it might give it a nice finishing touch, and also just make sure that it's super sturdy. Now I'm going to get started on the second side of this top. I've used my seam ripper to remove the other side of the sleeve. Also, while I'm doing this, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite thing that you have ever thrifted? Now, I'm going to cut off the bottom portion of the original sleeve to use as my new sleeve. Then, I'm going to use the other sleeve that I have already cut into shape and place it on top of my other sleeve and cut it so that they match. Make sure you have a left and a right when doing this. I'm then going to pin the bottom part of the sleeve straight. Next, you can see I pinned both sides of the body and the sleeves, and now it's time to pin the sleeves to the body to make sure everything lines up. So I have everything pinned and it looks a little too tight in the body. I haven't sewn anything, it's just pinned on, so I still have that extra fabric in there, and I think that's what's making it look so tight fitting. I think everything's ready to start being sewn. I'm going to take off the sleeves and then I'm going to sew the sleeve where I need to, and then I'm going to sew this independently, and then I'll reattach the sleeve on there once I've cut off the excess and I've overlocked everything that I need to. I know I said I was going to overlock last, but since these two pieces have to be combined, I'm going to overlock them before I combine them. So let me just sew this all together and then we can move on to slicing up the bottom of the top, which I'm also a little scared for. I ended up unpinning part of the bottom and cutting it first before I sewed, and I'll explain why later. Once I do my zigzag stitch, I'm going to trim off the excess and then overlock the stitch on the edge to make sure it's super sturdy and to prevent further fraying. A nice little touch I like to do is sew back on the original tags to the garment so that if it ever gets resold or donated, people know what the fabric content is. But honestly, I don't foresee myself doing that with this top. These sleeves are officially attached. They're all sewn on. I also went ahead and overstitched them so they are permanently on this bad boy. Honestly, kind of just want to stop here, but I know that that's not how this works, so I have to finish this. So the next thing that I need to do is add a ruffle. I already went ahead and cut this, and I'm really glad that I cut this before I sewed the sides, because then I would have sewn some of what I needed to use for the ruffle. So that was a really rookie mistake on my part, thinking that I was going to just sew all the way down and then cut it off. Make sure you cut it off first and then you can sew all the way down. Otherwise, you're going to be sewing into your ruffle. So for my ruffle, I want a 1-inch ruffle, meaning that I need at least 2 inches and then 1 centimeter for my seam allowance. So 2 inches and 1 centimeter, however that comes out to, that is what I want for my ruffle. And I need 2 of those that I will sew together and then ruffle together. So let's get started on that. I thought I was going to finish this in one day, but clearly I am not, because we have run into an issue. I don't know if you guys can tell, it kind of had a really big scallop on the end, which means that it goes in and out like that. So I don't have 2 consistent. Basically, I don't have 4 inches of just straight across because it would dip in some parts. Meaning, I need to find something else to match the bottom of this, otherwise it's not going to have a ruffle. The best thing I can think of is either trying to find fabric to match this, which I think is going to be hard because this is so opaque. I think the better thing to do is to get some lace trim and attach it to the bottom, and I can ruffle it from there if I want to. I might just see how the trim looks as is before I ruffle it, but that's what I'm thinking of doing. The ones at the craft store that I know are near me are usually made of synthetic fibers, and I want to avoid that at all costs. So I'm going to go online and see if I can find a sheer, lacy, maybe even scalloped trim that I can add to the bottom of this in a cotton and really white. In the meantime, let's go check out my button stash and see if there's any buttons that I have that I like, because if not, then I will also add buttons to my order, and then we're just going to have to sit and wait for those to come in. Unfortunately. This is currently my button stash. At the very top, we have those coconut shell buttons I was talking about. I feel like these are going to be too harsh against it. And the main reason why I don't like the buttons that it came with is because it's a really off-white. So the buttons are very yellow. I feel like they take you out of the mood of the shirt. So I want something that matches a little bit better. So this is what a coconut shell button would look like on it. Honestly, it's not bad, but I just feel like this isn't the best. Here's what that white button looks like. It's okay. Again, I think I'd want it to match the white more. So roughly this is what it would look like. I have this pearl button with gold around it. That would definitely work, but I don't know. Well, I'm going to hop on the internet, see what my options are for buttons and a lace trim for the bottom of this. I will be with you when we unbox all of this once it comes in the mail. It's been 2 days since I've last seen you guys. I have good news and I have bad news. So let's start with the good news. Good news is our package arrived and we're going to open this up in a second to see if the trim matches the top. The bad news is I didn't want to spend $12 on a 50 pack of shell buttons. The whole thing just seemed wasteful because I don't see myself using shell buttons a lot in my projects. So I decided to just use what I had. I looked back through my button stash and I found some buttons that I had recently taken off of a top that I put coconut shell buttons on. So I have these buttons to use and I think that they are going to be perfect for the top and they are the correct size. So this is the button I am going to use. It does have an iridescent kind of sheen to it and it matches the color on the top a lot better than what's currently on there. Let's open up this package and look at the trim that we got. Here's a bit of a close-up of the trim. It looks pretty spot on to the fabric. As you guys can probably see, this is super sheer, so it's going to look great on the bottom of this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pin this to the bottom. You can already see some pins because I decided I wanted to crop it a little bit more. So I think I might just pin some of this on here first, just to see what it looks like. And then I'm going to decide if I want to gather it, just to give it more of a ruffle at the bottom, or if I just want to leave it with a scalloped edge. So let me do that real quick. It looks really cute so far with just a little scallop at the bottom. I'm going to try this on and then I'm going to decide if I want to ruffle it or just leave it as is. After much deliberation, I have decided that I am going to gather the trim and give it a nice little ruffle. It looks fine pinned, but it does look a little plain, and I just think that ruffle is going to, 1, match my inspo pick a bit more, and 2, just give it that little extra pizzazz I feel like it needs. Because the bottom of this trim is already scalloped, I don't want it to be too ruffly, so I'm only going to use 2 times the length of the bottom of this top to make the ruffle. And then I'm going to start gathering it. Before I gather, I want to enclose this so that it looks a bit nicer and so that it doesn't fray. So, and I think I'm going to do a straight stitch and I'm just going to roll this under so that it doesn't fray. I will do that on the end too, but I want to gather it first and see where my end is going to be because I did make this just a little bit longer than the top in case I wanted to gather it more. I didn't mention it before, but to gather and create a ruffle, you're going to be using a basting stitch. So I actually had to leave and go out for a little bit, but we're pretty much on the home stretch. After I gathered the trim, I did a zigzag stitch to attach it onto the top, and then I cut off the excess and did an overlock stitch, and now I'm flipping it over, and I'm just going to do a straight stitch just so that it lays down. So I sewed it on the right side, and now I'm flipping it down and sewing it straight across. This just gives it a more finished look. So as you guys can probably see, it looks like it's serged, but of course it's not. I just have the zigzag stitch and then I did an overlock, and now I just have it pinned down and I just have to sew straight across. I'm at the point where I call this foolproof because there's really no way to mess this up anymore. I'm using a seam ripper to remove the buttons. I also recently thrifted this vintage needle holder and I'm keeping my hand sewing needles in it. It's a nice little touch to romanticize my sewing. The top is finally complete. It's a beautiful spring day, and in true DôEN fashion, I'm going to go outside in nature and show you the finished creation.